Hello and welcome to the Church of St. John the Baptist in Baston, Lincolnshire. The chapel of St. John the Baptist was first recorded in a charter of 851, that's over 1,000 years ago. No trace of that chapel now remains. Work on the existing building began in the 12th century, but significant modifications have been made to the fabric over the next 400 years, including this wonderful tower of the Perpendicular period, that is between 1350 and 1550. This sturdy tower, with its bold crocketed pinnacles, is a prime example of the Perpendicular design and was most probably constructed in the 1400s. A closer look at the south aisle reveals a little bell cot. The abrupt change in stonework from the south aisle to the chancel indicates that major rebuilding has gone on, in this case because the chancel was rebuilt by the Victorians. Externally, this bellcot on the roof of the east end of the south aisle indicates the location of the chapel of the Guild of St. Mary. This clock is a memorial to the coronation of their Majesties King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra in 1903. It's 6 feet in diameter, with a minute hand of 2 feet 9 inches. In the bell tower there are 6 bells, mounted 2 floors up. The clock mechanism is on the first floor. Here's the entrance porch. Entry to the church is via the 15th century south porch. Noticeably for the elaborate niche above the entrance, perhaps once containing an effigy of Saint John, and also the sundial, which predates the existing clock. The door is not very thick. It could well be as early as 1660, implying a restoration after the neglect and damage resulting from the Civil War in the 1640s. It could be as late as 1740 though, because somebody has cut their initials deeply into the panels. Here's the nave, itself rebuilt at various times. The western part, of the same 15th century, dates it with the porch, and the north and south aisles and clerestory are also of this period. Can I point out here that both clerestory and clerestory are both acceptable words. The eastern part of the nave is, however, earlier, dating it to the mid to late 14th century. Now look at this. Halfway along the south arcade is another pier which is odd with its neighbours. A wall incorporates a substantial part of it, which Pevsner thought indicated where the back west wall of the predecessor of the current church ran. Traces of chapels can still be seen and detected at the east end of the north and south aisles. Although the chancel arch is early English in design and therefore 12th century in date, the chancel itself is very much a Victorian reconstruction. Behind the altar is a wooden panel with a seated figure in the middle, Jesus enthroned as king, and two shields either side depicting aspects of his trial and crucifixion. This plain font is of the medieval period. Here we have the Baston parish chest. Made of oak boards finished with an adze, it measures 6 feet 9 inches long and 2 feet 9 inches high and 16 inches in width. Divided into 2 compartments of unequal size, each with separate lids, each lid with 2 heavy iron hinges. These hinges span the full width of the lid. It's early English joinery. The sides are dovetailed into the wider corner posts. Richly fitted with 2 locks housed on the front board, these unfortunately have been removed. It has been suggested that the chest is most probably contemporaneous with the nave arcade, and hence a date of around 1280 or 1290. Thank you for watching this short film of St. John the Baptist Church in Baston, Lincolnshire.